Ah, yes. Jimmy Kimmel. Good old Jimmy Kimmel. You see, when I first made my video saying fuck Jimmy Kimmel, I first made my video saying don't listen to what celebrities tell you, and I created quite a career off of that early on, and it started a wave of support. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel is actually the leading catchphrase of a brand new cultural movement that rejects the notion of celebrities. We need to dispel this notion that viral videos and celebrities are real. It is toxic for the culture. We need to slowly but surely erode this notion that the replicated image of a person's face on the internet somehow lends itself over to some sort of societal level weight that person should inherit. I believe that a person should be judged by the content of their content, not by the views on their video. And we need to really all together in one collective voice say fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Not even cancel Jimmy Kimmel, just fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Not even cut the cable, not even like switch to Netflix, because that's even worse probably. It's just like fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Like I was watching Jimmy Kimmel today just to say fuck Jimmy Kimmel, just so somebody would walk in the room and I'd be like, look at that guy. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. You know why? Because Jimmy Kimmel used to be friends with Joe Rogan. Jimmy Kimmel used to be friends with Alex Jones. He used to hang out with all of us. He used to chill. And now Jimmy Kimmel is on freaking late night TV or whatever, and he's like trying to promote fucking watch Jimmy Kimmel for 2 seconds and you'll see what the hell Jimmy Kimmel's trying to promote, dude. Just an evil, despicable message from a vile man. Do the exact opposite of everything that Jimmy Kimmel thinks. Whoever Jimmy Kimmel thinks is cool, I'd recommend taking a second look at. And everybody who Jimmy Kimmel says is like somebody you should look up to, or anything Jimmy Kimmel thinks is important, should be like spit on by the average people. I'm suggesting a complete and total book burning. I'm saying book burning. We need to book burn the notion that celebrities matter. Celebrities need to be completely and totally made obsolete, and we have the technology to do it. Go on TikTok and pick some random person who has 50,000 followers and give them the attention that you would give Jimmy Kimmel. Outsource your attention from these big, billion view hosting celebrities and decentralize it. Instead of having one Post Malone who you ogle at and buy his merch, stop doing that. Stop buying the merch. And obviously this isn't going to hurt any of the merch sales of any of these artists that I'm bringing up, because who cares? Because most of you are zombies and you're going to buy it anyway. You're going to buy it because you like it, which is perfectly fine. But I'm saying perhaps take a second look at these people and the fact that you're just another number. But you could go pick 10 wannabe Post Malones who all have better face tats and probably have better music. You go find 10 up-and-coming Post Malones, we'll call them. And we're not even going to use Post Malone because I like Post Malone myself, but he's a good example because he gets billions of views and he has billions of fans, and everybody's focusing their attention on him. But we don't need that anymore. We have the internet, and you'll hear Post Malone when you're walking around the mall anyway. You're going to see those logos anyway, and people are going to think that you're a total normie for following the herd and being into something that everybody else is. So my suggestion to you is to go find some small indie artists, and if everybody does this and we all just go have our own little musical niches and our own little communities, and we all read our own books and we go into our own little worlds, and that's honestly I think what the internet was originally created for. I mean, we have the possibility at our fingertips to completely and totally overhaul the entire information feedback loop here, and these systems are slowly closing up. I mean, you could see with streaming services and all these different things that they want to be able to handpick and moderate not only the people that you see, but the opinions of the people who you used to like, and they want to clone all the different celebrities in the same way that they remade Star Wars. They're going to remake your favorite celebrity. Get the picture? They're going to take your favorite celebrity and the fact that they're still around, they're going to, get them into these different deals that are cut, and they're going to be promoting things like iDubbbz promoting his girlfriend's OnlyFans. You think that iDubbbz wasn't bought off when he started promoting his girlfriend's OnlyFans? That was total horseshit. He's promoting degeneracy, and we should all really just kind of laugh at him, because we should be like, oh wow, it looks like you've totally sold out your standards as a human being by having your girlfriend's nudes all over the internet. And we all know you're rich, iDubbbz. We all know that you're probably having to pay penance for something that you said in the past that some people probably think is controversial. And you're trying to walk that back so that you can continue to make your shitty documentaries. You don't have the balls enough to actually come out and stick to your principles when it matters most. You've abandoned us, iDubbbz, honestly. And that goes double for Jimmy. That goes double, triple for Sold His Soul Jimmy Kimmel, who did it a hard way. Because obviously iDubbbz deserves credit because he platformed Sam Hyde, and he's definitely done a lot of good. But the OnlyFans thing, man, that was a fault. And Leafy is here, really did a good job calling you out on that. And good on him, because, you know, your whole shtick of exposing him for being a cyberbully at the time, I mean, it was cool, but it's a vestige of a bygone era and all that sort of thing. I mean, I think that we had a huge loss in the internet culture when a lot of these different celebrities just continued to exist, you know, continued to burden us with their existence and continued to just like show their face to the public and platform their face to the public. You know, I reject the notion that Jordan Peterson puts out saying that people should not be allowed to post videos on the internet where they're not showing their face. That's exactly why I'm not showing my face, because fuck Jordan Peterson too. But honestly, I will say one thing about Jordan Peterson. It's that nobody should be allowed to criticize Jordan Peterson without listening to everything that the man says first, because I think that you should listen to everything that he says and then take it with a grain of salt. And then, because I think that the man has very interesting information to put out there, and it's entertaining and it's better than a lot of the content out there. But one of the key problems that we're facing with a lot of these different social media platforms currently is the fact that we're all being artificially gaslighted by the algorithm. You go on YouTube, and if you had ever watched a Joe Rogan video, look in your recommended section. It'll be recommending to you the same exact Joe Rogan video that you had watched in the past. And it's, what does it expect you to do? Listen to the same podcast over and over again? I don't understand why the recommendation system is so broke, but I do. It's so that it continues to give you this feedback loop of information that's the quote unquote intellectual dark web, when in reality it's not the intellectual dark web at all. You have to get off of these mainline social media platforms. Get on Odyssey.com. Use Odyssey.com because they don't censor the content that's on there, and you're going to get a much nuanced perspective. There's more people talking, so it's more intellectually sound. And that's really the main issue that we run into when there's these vapid, washed out platforms like Instagram and so forth that are all just completely, just a recycling and a rehashing of all the same celebrities who are has-beens anyway. Honestly, if you're a celebrity and you're famous for something, keep it that way. Don't burden us with more projects if they're not like from the heart. Go pick some other maverick thing. You know, when I have success, I reinvent my success in a different way. I try to never do the same approach twice at risk of becoming stale, because at a certain point it's like you want your audience to have the spirit and the grit, and then at that point it's the person who created the art's job to get out of the way and then go work on another painting. And these are all very essential things, and this has to go for all ideas in general, because think about it. You're a human being with a human brain, and the science says that you're only capable of recognizing about 200 faces. There you go. So think about that. I think that's what it is. It's some other number, but that's a chimpanzee can actually only recognize about 30 faces. So that gives you some context. So the point there that I'm making is that if you have 200 faces that you could recognize in your life, and one of them is Jimmy Kimmel, that's a waste of a perfectly good friendship that you could have, or some sort of business acquaintance or something like that. I'm saying stop looking at Jimmy Kimmel's AI generated face and stop listening to these regurgitated opinions that are meant to set you up later on down the line to get bamboozled. You need to, you need to outthink these things before they happen. You need to subject yourself to information that's, the mainstream is trying to divert you from. And it might be difficult for people to disconnect from the matrix in that regard, because it, in a certain way, involves going out on your own. But believe me, you'll find other people like you along your path who are worth 1,000 of those vapid Jimmy Kimmel watchers.